Hey, fantasy football fans, want to gain a last-minute advantage over the teams you play this week? Don't forget to check out Ken Zales' Fantasy Football Notebook on PressBoxOnline.com, presented by Chesapeake Urology Associates. John Eisenberg writes books, and he has a new one due out very shortly, and he also covers the Baltimore Ravens for the club's website, BaltimoreRavens.com. He joins us now, and we welcome you to the show, John. As we tape this show, John, we're a few days away from the Ravens playing the Denver game. When this airs, we're going to either look like geniuses or we don't know what we're talking about. What's your opinion? What is the headline going to be coming out of this Saturday's game?
Well, you asked me to say whether they win or lose. That's a tough one. I mean, they're given 10 points for a reason. It's going to be tough. Win or lose, I'll put it this way. I'll dance around it this way. Win or lose, you can say 5 years in the playoffs. If this is their bad year, and there's been some complaints of, questions about how they still made the playoffs in a year when they actually didn't play that great a ball.
Yeah, they didn't. This has been a kind of an odd season. Yeah. Your sense of the changeover from Cam Cameron to Jim Caldwell. A lot of people think, and I don't want to put you on the spot, I know you write for the club's website, so I'm not going to put you. A lot of people say it was Bisciotti's decision or whatever. Do you think the club is different in any way, shape, or form since that move?
It's hard to detect a large sort of macro difference, but if you really watch closely, there are differences, and they're starting to reveal themselves as time goes on. You'll see Joe Flacco rolling out more. If you talk to the players, there is definitely a difference in the pace of the offense, about when the calls come in and how quickly the offense runs. A fundamental difference that the fans don't really talk about or think about, but to the players, it's a difference, and they like it. They like the fact that
there's
the call
more
comes
of a tempo. Everything's moving at a little faster clip.
This is what I'm hearing in the locker room. So
okay.
they like that. And, rolling out more, and we'll see. I mean, it's very interesting. I think the fans thought, well, maybe, Ray Rice is now going to get 25 carries a game because the lack of it is what got Cam fired. Right. I'm not so sure about that. Now this other running back comes along, Bernard Pierce.
Brilliantly.
So Ray's not going to get 25 carries a game.
Hey, tell me about the other Ray, and he's never been called the other Ray before, Ray Lewis. You and I talked last week, and we said, boy, I think his coming back does motivate the team. I now have rethought that, and I think Ray came back and needed to motivate himself. Now in week 2, I think he can relax and motivate others.
Very interesting, Stan. I think that, in terms of motivating himself, people would be surprised to hear that because he's this positive thinker and motivator. But yeah, I think it was tough for him to sit out and to rehab. And I think there was a little bit of fear coming back.
No question about it.
I think there was a little bit of fear. Can I play this game? Because it's a major injury. And look at that huge contraption he had on his arm. It really is amazing that he played. But I think also the timing of it was to motivate the team. I think it helped do that. And I think
this week is the week it really pays off, that it motivates the team. John, we didn't have you on to discuss this, but I'm going to hold up 10-Gallon War, which is your new book. It's out. Tell us a little bit about this book.
Well, it's a book of football history. Very quickly, there's like 2 things in football history that really created the modern NFL. Number 1 is the Baltimore Colts championship game against the Giants here that everybody knows about. And number 2 was when Lamar Hunt, son of the richest man in America, did not get a team in Dallas. He bugged the NFL and said, please give me a team. They wouldn't give him one, so he started the AFL. So this book is about the 3 years when he started the AFL with a team in Dallas. His hometown was where he wanted it, and the NFL in response put the Cowboys in Dallas as an expansion team to try to knock out the AFL. So there were 2 teams in that town for 3 years fighting each other to own that city, and there were dirty tricks, lawsuits, stealing each other's players. They did everything that they could. So it's about that 3-year war down there to own that town, and it's really an AFL-NFL story.
And a war that ultimately was changed and decided by the merger. They agreed that the Hunts would move to Kansas City.
Well, that was before the merger.
Yeah.
But the guys that were in that war, Tex Schramm for the Cowboys, Lamar Hunt for the Texans, they're the ones that negotiated the merger.
The merger,
because
right.
it's the epicenter of the AFL-NFL war.
All right, you getting ready and poised to write the Ray Lewis book?
Oh, my goodness. I don't know if Ray's going to be asking me, but...
you're ready for it, though, aren't you?
It'd be a good book, that's for sure.
All right, John Eisenberg, always a pleasure to have you on the show.
My pleasure.
Anytime. Everyone knows Ray Lewis is hanging them up whenever this Ravens season ends, but our next guest deals with Ray through his Build a House Foundation, which through Ravens Roost 15 gives back to the community, and he has some unique insights into the man number 52 is off the field. We'll talk with him when we get back. Inside PressBox is presented by Friedmont Mortgage. Don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. Go to Friedmont.com now for all of your mortgage needs.